All right, my name is Ely Reyes, Ely Reyes, and I'm Assistant Chief, and I supervise the North Patrol Bureau, Fleet and Technology. In December of 2016, Ford issued a technical safety bulletin that had some concerns about possible exhaust leaking into some of the Ford Explorer vehicles, namely models between 2011 and 2015. Once that bulletin came out, we looked at our fleet to see how many of those vehicles we had. We checked with our risk management folks and our fleet, and at that time we had no reports of any issues with any of the vehicles that we had in our fleet. Since then, in the last couple of months, we've now had 3 different incidents reported by officers involving 2 vehicles where they say that they've smelled exhaust or have some concerns about carbon monoxide in the cab of the vehicle. The latest incident did result in one of our officers being transported to the hospital. Thankfully, he's doing well now. As a result of these recent reports, the city fleet and the Austin Police Department are taking some safety precautions to ensure the safety of our officers. The short-term solution is that we've just ordered 400 carbon monoxide detectors that will be here tomorrow, and they will be placed in every single Ford Explorer that we have in our fleet. And that short-term solution is a color-coded type sticker that will go in the vehicle, and if it changes to certain colors, then the officer driving the vehicle will know that the carbon monoxide levels in that vehicle are rising. The longer-term solution is that the city fleet will be purchasing the carbon monoxide detectors that will be hardwired into the vehicle, and this vehicle will give an audible alarm if the carbon monoxide levels in the vehicle reach above a certain area. These carbon monoxide detectors will be here by the end of the week, and then fleet will begin installing them on all of the Ford Explorers in our fleet as soon as they arrive. So we're hopeful that with the short-term and long-term solution that we have in place, that will ensure the safety of our officers, and our city fleet is going to continue to work with Ford on identifying the issues and getting any of our vehicles repaired that need it. With that, I'll open it up to any questions you guys have.
Have you guys had any sort of conversation with Ford about maybe recalling those particular 2 vehicles and replacing them?
The vehicles that we've had issue with are going to Ford to be inspected at Ford.
So just those 2?
Just those 2 vehicles.
And they will fix it free of charge?
There is a technical safety bulletin. If most of the vehicles that we have from Ford are still under warranty, I don't know about the cost associated with those repairs.
Do you think this carbon monoxide problem, do you think it poses a safety hazard for the community?
I don't believe that this is going to pose any type of hazard to the community. The events that we've had are very limited in number at this time. We're going to take the necessary precautions to make sure that we mitigate that.
Are you guys thinking of getting different police vehicles eventually because of this issue?
No, we're not.
Do you have more of the Explorers on order?
We do have more of the Explorers on order.
Do you know how many?
At this time, I think we have 9 more that are on order.
How many
We
are
currently
on order?
have about 361 Ford Explorers in our fleet, and that's just the police department.
City
Did
fleet
you-
is-
Sorry, excuse my voice. Did you say that the CO monitors were going only to the Fords or all patrol vehicles?
We only have Ford patrol vehicles. We also have some Ford Explorers that are not patrol vehicles. We are going to install them in all Ford Explorer vehicles, even those that are outside of what the technical safety bulletin states. It states 2011 to 2015 models. We're going to install them on the 2016 and the 17s as they come in as well.
Just the Explorers?
Yes, sir.
Are these Explorers special, like police interceptor, like some of the Crown Vics were?
They are police interceptor Ford Explorers.
Okay, so they were also included, but not. Okay, so I guess my question is: were these things the ones that were specifically indicated, or were all Explorers indicated in the service bulletin?
It doesn't parse out whether it's police Explorers or civilian Explorers. It just says 2011 and 2015 Ford Explorer models.
Okay.
Chief, how much is this costing the department?
The short-term solution, the stickers that we're gonna be placing inside the vehicles, we ordered 400 of those, and that cost is approximately $1,000. These devices here are hardwired into the vehicle and are a longer-term solution. It's the same detector that we use in our K9 vehicles to make sure that those carbon monoxide is detected in the cab of those vehicles, and these are less than $50 each.
The officer who was transported to the hospital, how long was that officer idling, and were they idling in a enclosed garage or something like that?
I don't have any details about the length of time he was operating the vehicle, but he was not in a garage, he was out on the roadway.
Can you tell us what that safety bulletin says, the one you sent out to the officers?
The safety bulletin that we sent to the officers informs them of the bulletin that was sent out by Ford about the possible risk of carbon monoxide in the cab of the vehicles. It also gives them what the symptoms are for CO poisoning, so that if they have any of the symptoms, that they can recognize those symptoms early on and stop operating the vehicle. It also gives them some ideas about how they can mitigate the risk of carbon monoxide in the cab of the vehicle, such as turning off the recirculation on the air conditioning, rolling down a window, or something like that.
Looking back, is there anything more APD could have done to alert the officers? Or obviously you couldn't take all the vehicles off the road. But
Well, in addition to sending out the safety bulletin, we also purchased 12 mobile detectors last month, and we have 3 of those mobile detectors at each substation. And so the officers can check them out when they check out their vehicle, and they can do random samplings just to see what the levels are. So in addition to the safety bulletin, we also did purchase those 3 detectors, or 3 per substation.
Do you have a sticker with you?
I do not have the sticker with me. The place where most of these stickers are sold are on pilot websites. They're commonly used in the flying industry to place in the pilot's cabin area in an airplane. And it's just a double-sided sticky where it sticks on you can stick it any place and it just changes color. So they're very common.
Going forward, I mean, you have a solution in place. What kind of confidence do you have at this point in Ford Motor Company and the products that you're driving?
Well, we haven't had any issues. We've been using the Ford Explorers for several years now. Other than these recent issues, we haven't had any concerns with their use.
Well, Chief, when you heard about what happened to the officer, what was your reaction?
Well, we take the safety of our officers very seriously, and as soon as I found out about it, we immediately began making phone calls and sending emails and trying to see what we could do to take the necessary immediate actions to ensure the safety of our officers, especially when they're out there driving vehicles around.
What is the latest conversation with Ford?
City Fleet is engaged in those conversations with Ford. The police department really doesn't have direct conversations with the dealers.
Do you know what that conversation is?
I do
If
not.
there's one.
We'll take one more question.
When did these incidents, you see 3 incidents to 2 vehicles, do you have the dates of those?
They all occurred in the last month.
And your bulletin came out about a month ago.
Our bulletin came out on February 27th.
And still there were 2 incidents post that.
I believe this is the only incident that we've had since then. There was one incident on February 22nd, and I think I'm not sure of the date of the other one. So.
Obviously, there were 2 people in that one vehicle. In that first incident, I'm just doing the math.
No, we have one vehicle that has 2 incidents.
I see.
Right.
Same vehicle.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And only one officer was transported to the hospital out of those 3.
Correct.
Thank you, guys.